Hey guys, it's Canada Day, July 1st. Happy birthday, Canada. Anyway, so that means I have the day off. And I parked somewhere different today. I haven't parked here before. Okay, here we go. Oh, always put your pee bottle in the wheel well so that urine doesn't splash everywhere. Not wheel well, what the heck's this thing called? I don't know. Door slidey thing. I put it there just in case it falls over. It won't make a mess. Got my box of mangoes. They're a little bit on the hard side the other day when I bought them, so I figured I'd put them in the front seat where it gets some sunlight and they'd ripen faster. Anyway, this is where I am. It's 10 o'clock in the morning right now, and it's pretty dead. Parking between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. is only allowed for 2 hours. But since it's a holiday, I figured no problemo. That's what's on that side. Perfect spot. Well, guys, in Home Depot for another fun time of working on the van. Where should I park? How about over here? Okay, well, just about to have some breakfast here. I got my, I bought some coffee at Whole Foods. I've never had their coffee before, so I thought I'd try it. See what this tastes like right there. And then I'm not much of a coffee drinker, but I got a lot of work to do, and I need to wake up and get some motivation, and coffee usually works. I also got a nice muffin, vegan muffin from Whole Foods, and that'll be breakfast. So today I'm going to talk about a question that often comes up for people who are just starting the van life. And that question is, should you tell your family, your friends, your coworkers? And ultimately I think that the answer is it's up to the individual. For me personally, I will tell certain people and I will not tell certain other people. All my family knows. I have no qualms about telling them, and family kind of has to accept you whether they like it or not, or your ideas. I mean, I guess they don't have to, but my family is quite accepting in that everybody is, I don't really have an especially close family, so people are like, yeah, do whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. So family's not a problem for me. Friends, it's always kind of an interesting situation when you tell a new friend, or like if I'm in a band, I always tell my bandmates, because I figure, if I show up to a gig and I bring my bass cabs out and they're helping me, or I'm helping them or whatever, and they see inside the van, they're going to say, oh, what's going on here? Well, I'm just going to tell them up front and solve that whole issue from the get-go. So most friends I will tell. In fact, I tell all my friends. I can't think of anyone who I have not told. And some responses are, oh, that's cool, or oh, what are you doing that for? So it's, it's kind of like fear of the unknown. Some people are fine with it, and some people are like, they're saying, well, why are you doing that? Or that's like crazy. And it's kind of like people will bring it's kind of the thing whereas people will judge you and your actions, but it's not really a reflection of you, it's a reflection of them. So if they're gonna get all crazy or upset about it, then that's a reflection of their state of mind, and tends to be, in my opinion, from my experience, people who are more comfortable within their own skin and who are more even keeled, balanced, centered, you might say, are going to be more accepting of alternative lifestyles. People who are not that way, who are less balanced, will tend to be more judgmental and critical. Now, the toughest area of this for me is coworkers. Um, it's because of the nature of my job, and from the start, I can't tell you what I do, but I can tell you is that I cannot have my employer find out that I live in a van, and I have a professional job. I have a career that has a lot of responsibility, and I can't say too much because it's going to give it away. So I'm not going to say much on that. But I have to be very careful about my coworkers. There are two people that I have told. One I really, really trust. Well, both of them I really trust. But one of them actually, when I told him I was getting divorced, he offered me to rent out his place because he owns a house. He got married and bought a house, but then he had his old condo that he's having trouble selling. So he offered me to sell it or to rent it, and I had to decline. And then he came with a lower price for the rental, and I still had to decline. And I could tell that he was like, "Well, why would you decline that? It's a good deal." And he's right, it was a good deal, but it still was out of my price range at that point. And frankly, even if it was $400 a month to rent, which is really cheap, I still don't think I would do it because living in a van isn't that hard. So I'd rather save that $400. Anyway, so I ended up telling him, and he was really cool with it. And he said that he's always wanted an RV. But as to the other people, I can't tell them. Obviously, they don't know about this YouTube channel, and that's part of the reason I try to be anonymous. When I posted that video, my last video about being in various bands, I chose clips that didn't have any of the band names in the... usually when I have a band, I'll have the banner or the name of the band will be on the drum head or something, the bass drum, to advertise to the people who the band is. But I was careful to choose clips that didn't show any of that because I need to be anonymous. And if the people, if somebody wanted to, they could find out based on the band name. They could Google it and they could find out who the members of the band were, and they're obviously going to see me. So I avoided all that. So yeah, being anonymous is important to me because of my job and my coworkers, and I can't have anybody at work know I really live in a van. Now, there's a couple other people I've been tempted to tell, and I might, and that's the jury's out on that. I'm not really sure. About a year ago, when I was really starting this whole adventure of living in a van, I was on the forum that Bob Wells has started, cheaprvliving.com. Anyway, and I was talking about this issue, and one guy, I forget his name, but he made a really good point. He said, you have to be willing to accept the worst case scenario and expect that to happen. And if you can accept that, then everything will be fine. And I really think that's true. So if you're trying to make a decision about whether you should tell people, think about the worst thing that can happen and then decide whether you can accept it or not. And then, act accordingly. Um, if my employer found out, would I get fired? I'm not going to say 100% sure the answer is yes, but uh, it's possible. And being that it's possible, and how important that job is for my financial stability and to pay my child support payments, um, it's really important that I don't lose the job. So that's why I don't really. I'm going to act in the best way possible to not let them know. Now, a friend of mine said, who knows, I have the YouTube channel and everything, says, why are you doing a YouTube channel? If they find out, you're really shooting yourself in the foot there. So I'm taking a chance by even having this YouTube channel, because they could see, well, you've got over 100 videos of you living in a van. What's going on? And obviously you're not being that discreet. So, there's a balance. I'm being as discreet as I can within reason. I'm not going to live myself in a life of fear. And stuff happens, stuff happens. You deal with it, you roll with it, and you move on. So that's the kind of way I view it. So yeah, ultimately, the choice is up to you. It's your decision if you want to tell somebody or not. The hardest part, I think, besides employers, is going to be the dating scene. And for me, it's not really a concern because I have no interest in dating anybody right now. Maybe in the far off future I might, but I don't really care. And the fact is, if they can't accept me living in a van or a camper van or whatever, then they're probably not the right kind of person for me anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. So thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good night.